Good evening, friends. Thank you for joining me as you did yesterday. And we have Deepti Pinniti with us in the second part of the show. Thank you, Deepti, for coming and joining us.
Thank you, Minaji. Thank you, Minaji, for this platform because, yes, many people were finding it difficult to read.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
yeah. So, friends, today Deepti will continue on what we did yesterday, and we'll have other sessions as well on the SSR, drives as she, goes, exposes them. So, I would request you to, bear with her, and you can towards the end only start asking questions because we do not want to disturb her flow. Now, the first thing that I want to ask Deepti is the attacks on her exposures have started coming on social media. So one lady in particular said, if CBI is now showing interest, if CBI is not showing interest, these diary excerpts should be handed to the lawyer or the family. And she also says keeping them means holding on to stolen property and a criminal offense. And she also says keeping important evidence from the family and putting on Twitter amounts to gross interference in an ongoing investigation. The person who has written all this, her name is Minal Doshi on Twitter. Yeah. So now, see, many of us know one thing for sure, Deepti, is that anything that comes on a public platform, especially when you are, tagging very important people, that means there will be truth to it. And that this cannot be erased. So now that the big names are coming in, I think certain quarters are getting a little scared, Deepti, about what you're exposing. So can you give us your response? Yeah.
Yes, Meenaji, a lot of people will have problems with the contents coming out because if you have gone through them, or as and how I read them on your show, people will get to know. I mean, this is sensational, explosive material that is there in Sushant's drives. Some big names, some reputed names, some masks have been, unmasked. Real faces he has exposed. So obviously, a lot of people with lot of social influence and influence in the media as well will have problem.
Yeah,
their IT cells will get activated now.
Yeah.
So it's okay. I mean, let us not give so much time
on that. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Let us give time to something constructive so that people know what exactly was in the drive.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So we'll again move back to what you said. Continue from where you took off yesterday, Deepti. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could start reading more of the excerpts. Yes.
Okay. Fine. One of the main reasons for me to write in such details was since the day I have gotten into all this, I have made my efforts to reach out to the people who I felt would have gotten to the root of the cause. But none seemed interested or showed even the slightest of the concern to give me time to say what I had to say. Now, when that happens, it clearly means that the mess is not something which is unknown. Everyone is well aware of it. Everyone is well aware of what is happening around and yet has turned blind, deaf, and dumb, and have turned non-responsive too. I pay my taxes on time and I do my duty honestly. Still, I am not being given a chance to share my findings out and yet being told to keep my mouth shut. On all these issues, what is my role here? What is my gain by doing all this? What must be the next step I must be taking is a big confusion, which I know time will answer for sure. I duly apologize, and I am sorry for eating up the time of the person who is going to read this if something happens to me. But kindly understand my frame of mind that dead cannot speak. And if you have laid your hands on this, that means I have stopped breathing. And I don't want you to go through the same pain. I have gone through. And God Almighty only knows what kind of situation you would be in, mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially. If the myth that a soul can see everything from above and does guide people, which I myself have experienced too during the course of this. When you get to that stage where the efforts of yours are close to results and you are under any pressure, this work of mine will guide you to a spot, and there you will find something which will actually help you fight this much better. If giving this out right now uh, might make you feel that you have become successful in trying to destroy my work, let me make one point very clear over here, that each and every single file is encrypted, and you will need real effort to destroy the encryption and try to understand what is the real research all about. But if But if you found success in opening this page after reading up the matter, which I had carefully streamlined in a jumbled way, then that means yours and my thought process is the same. I have been a person with a clean heart and always wished good for everyone. And I am sure, as my conscience says, this will not get into wrong hands. Before you continue any further, please remember one thing, that continuing from here means you are trying to give shape to the dreams of someone who laid his life for this. And any kind of intentions otherwise, kindly stop right here. My AI and other researchers are in right hands, and the moment I passed away, there is one team of frustrated individuals who shall come into action when everything shall die down and the matter will be forgotten um, altogether. So, not just the soul concept or the science behind souls, my team, the people whom I trust, the people neither the society nor you as a reader would be knowing now till your actions start to show, will have any idea what plans and backups I have prepared. With this, I again would want to finally say before I give another introduction on how to get to the files and folders that shall lead you to the world that I would consider is my kind of world. Let me make one thing clear. There would be a lot of explanations on each and every minute aspect, and you will need to have a lot of patience, and your rewards. I'm sorry. I just a second, please. Yeah. With this, I again would want to finally say, before I give another introduction on how to get to the files and folders that will lead you to the world that I would consider is my kind of world, let me make one thing clear. There would be a lot of explanations on each and every minute aspect, and you will need to have a lot of patience, and your rewards, if any conditions are met, if my conditions are met, are waiting for you. Long live humanity, my conscience speaks. Okay. Uh, so shall we move on to the next
Yeah,
slide,
please,
Minaji?
please. Yeah, yeah. Perhaps this is Deepti would be closer towards the end because he knew that anybody who would find his diary, once they find his diary, then he would not be live any longer. So though it seems like it's going towards perhaps the last portion. Yes, please
Yeah.
continue. Please.
The reason I have given this out in this detail is because I was manhandled. On, and also, if a celebrity like me is stopped from speaking the truth, what has happened to the laws in our country? Are we not being used as puppets for someone who is sitting elsewhere and are just being used for their own selfish motives, hatred, violence, and a lot of things, which look small, are totally connected to uh, one and other? And also, there is this concept that has been running in my brain for a long, long, long time now, that every organized crime is done in such a way that it would look simple, like someone was trying to snatch a chain, or maybe some house burglary incident uh, led to the death. But in order to understand the way these people work, we first need to analyze and make mental notes of deaths of normal citizens who were never in the limelight and have passed away in these accidents or robbery incidents. To quote as an example, so that when someone reads this, he instantly connects to my thought process. There was a death of a duty doctor of Sasun General Hospital in Pune in a road accident in 2017, which never made any news or gained any mileage in the media. The reason I am not describing this death in detail now is because of some concerns I have. And the way you, when reading this, will apply it in the mentioned intros I have given. This doctor was supposed to examine some medicines which would play a vital role in the Jan Aushadhi campaign that is being planned on a large scale. This accident clearly states that the people who got this done did not want the doctor to prescribe, promote, or spread the word about this. Despite meeting top police officials, people with heavy influence, and also a lot of people who are considered as the rule makers in the country today, if me, despite being a star, can be played with, I go out of words to try and analyze what would be the condition of the common citizen of our country. The pain I have taken and the time I have put behind this should not go waste, is one of the main reasons I am writing each of this down in so detail, so that anyone reading this would live through each minute of my work, and if applied properly with a clean and detached mind, can actually visualize what I am trying to say. It is very important that you understand each word of this introduction. Uh, I have taken so much pain to ensure I keep it as simple as possible, because if you get this, then you can actually start from where I have stopped or was put to rest and continue from there without wasting much time. The incidents of my life that have happened, how they have, I am pained to write that my diary, my papers were destroyed and burnt. So I decided to do it this way, so that at least this cannot be burnt or destroyed, even if these drives are set on fire. The proof for the same is the fact that a true and honest soul like you, who is getting to read this, and be rest assured that even if this was burnt or destroyed, as I have spoken earlier, a team of my people will bring this out to the naked eye. When the fuss about my death shall be written off as, and how the outcome would be shown in the media. Media has become a prostitute in the hands of these powerful people. And I have written in detail about those crooks in the media too, who are hand in glove with the people who want to spread hatred in our country. So here, our next slide ends.
Yeah.
Miraji.
Yeah.
So, I mean, will we have some discussions in between or something?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
our,
yeah. Let us,
let
yeah.
us.
Now, what you read about now, could you tell us something, Deepti, about, what he's specifically talking about?
So till now I have read
Because see,
to.
why I'm asking you, Deepti, is because see, I think you're reading from randomly. So it's like from here and there. So it's not like a chronological this thing that you're reading. So hence, if you could just explain a little bit to the viewers and then continue with the next
So
excerpt.
he has written in detail about why he is writing with so much detail, describing everything of
Yeah.
his experience. Okay. Uh, and also he has written about, because he is not sure who is going to get access of his drives. So we should understand his frame of mind when he was writing this.
Yes.
He is addressing the person who will get to lay his or her hands on his drives after he is no more.
Hmm.
He is sure of this fact. He has written it that, so if someone is reading these drives, that means he is no more.
Somebody is asking you, are you not scared to reveal these? Because there'll be very powerful forces, not wanting all this to come out.
See, Meenaji, because of Sridevi ji's case, already there's been risk and threats. So I have been facing risk, threats, and all sorts since 2018, since I took up Sridevi ji's case.
Yes.
So
You're
I'm.
already geared for that. Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
it will just be a bundle. I mean, it will be a
Yeah.
package, nothing new.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Sanjit is asking you, he's saying that yes, Deepti summarization would help a lot about getting the hang of it. So each time you read it, Deepti, just give us a small summary of it.
okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
So here he is saying that he has prepared some backups as well,
Yeah.
because he is afraid that if someone who has managed to lay his or her hands on his drives doesn't have a clean conscience and they want to sell his work for money or something, so he is not sure of that.
Hmm.
So he has written it in a very chronological order, stepwise, how and how exactly he wants, how much he wants to reveal at what point of time.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and he also mentions that he was beaten up. Even my sources, I have come to know that when he went to complain in a police station in Mumbai, I don't know which, he was beaten up.
Hmm.
He wanted to expose. I mean, if the information that I have received is right,
Hmm.
the term
Hmm.
photon in a double slit, it means exposing the three things: drugs and child trafficking,
Yeah.
and the more inhuman purpose for which his AI. I
Yeah.
mean, some big names wanted to use his AI project.
Yeah.
Okay. So when he went to complain about this, about the wrong happening, and yesterday when I read a slide, he had mentioned that he was also doing research about Jiah Khan's death. Okay, so he might have found something, and he might when he went to complain to the authorities, he was manhandled.
Hmm.
Okay, um, and he writes his. I can understand because. He says that when a celebrity like me, I mean, if I'm not able to, if I can be stopped from speaking the truth out, I mean, he is writing. I mean, he can understand what the condition of the common person, citizen in this country. He is basically in these slides. He has written his thought about his frame of mind, why
Yeah.
why he has done this research, why he has taken all this pain in spite of the threat to his life. Okay, and he has mentioned. He says that basically most of the common accidental deaths that happen are actually a part of organized crime. What seems to be a chain snatching incident, I mean, or a death due to robbery in house, okay, might actually be staged, okay, to kill that person for some other reason. And he
Yeah.
has mentioned an example in here,
Hmm.
okay, like there was this hospital in Pune, Sassoon General Hospital in Pune, and there was this duty doctor.
Hmm.
He died in a road accident in 2017. Okay, and the reason he says is that he was supposed to examine some medicines
Hmm.
which will play a vital role in the Jan Anshudhi campaign.
Hmm.
Okay, that was being planned on a large scale. So he was prevented from, making those checks on the medicines. But he died in a road accident. So normally anyone would. So that's what he is mentioning here. That how this syndicate operates. It's not
Hmm.
that always they always show it as a murder or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Most of the times they get away with it because they make it seem natural. because there are different kind of chemicals and toxins as well, which can show the death to be as from due to cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
And
Here, viewers, let us just, as Deepti talks about this, we have all noted that there have been many hit and run cases. Many people have died in accidents, and they've been proclaimed as accidents. Of course, we know better that there will be something else to it as well. Deepti, just before you continue, Abhilasha is asking, where did Deepti ji get this from? Now, Abhilasha, this was explained in part 1. That was the yesterday's session. So kindly listen to that, and she's given a complete detailed this thing about explanation about that. Yes, please continue.
Yeah. So that was one of the examples he gave, and rest of the thing is more of like the instructions to the person who is reading the drive on how to go about it, or how to carry this work forward from where he has stopped. Because he is so sure, and he has mentioned it so many times, that by the time if someone is reading his drives, that means he has stopped breathing.
Yeah.
These are the exact words he used. Okay.
Also, viewers, one thing I want to tell you is that, see, if many of you are questioning the authenticity of these, what you call the diary, the excerpts. Now, see, if Deepti has taken these excerpts to the CBI and to NCP, it means that, see, she has SSR's best interests in her mind. Okay, nobody is going to take a fake thing to the federal agencies. So please try to understand where she went, what she did, and the kind of work she has put into this. Yes, Deepti.
Thank you, Manager.
Yeah.
And here he has also mentioned that his diary and his papers were destroyed and burnt. Here he has clearly mentioned that his diary and his papers were destroyed and burnt. So that's the reason he decided to put it this way, in the form of encrypted drives and files. Okay, that's what he has mentioned here. And he has also
protect the information.
That is, to protect the information from falling into the wrong hands. And he has also ensured that the encryption cannot be broken or cannot be burnt, cannot be destroyed or cannot be burnt, even if they try to. This is possible. Okay. And also, he mentions here one thing, that when the fuss about my death shall be written off, as and how the outcome would be shown in media. So he was sure that his death will not be shown as it will happen. And here he mentions that media has become a prostitute in the hands of these powerful people. Okay. And I have written in detail about these crooks in the media too, who are hand in glove with the people who want to spread hatred in our country. Okay. So here he knows that once he is killed, his death will be, written off as something else. It will be tried to cover up. He has made a mention of that as well. So that is basically the gist of the two files that I have shared now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You can perhaps move to the next one. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Just one question, Deepti, before you continue. See, this Ankita, who he's written about, has been exposed in the diary. Now, what most viewers find very strange is that his sisters are close to Ankita, especially the one in America. So the kind of questions they've asked is, are they not aware of her nature? So you see, viewers, one thing is that you can know people, but you can't know them inside out. You see, a lot of the times you believe what they show. So that's something, we cannot,
see,
take
we
it.
cannot. I don't know. See, I don't know anything about this, what happened or what not. What is the equation between the sisters and Ankita? I have no idea about it. Okay. And one thing we must understand is that whatever comes out in the media, or whatever you think that you can make out from the pics that are being shared on the social media, it's not the truth.
Yeah.
That is what they want to share on the media. It doesn't
Exactly.
mean
Yeah.
that,
Yes.
yeah,
Very important. Very
most
important
of
what you
this,
said, Deepti.
yeah,
Yeah.
most of us have this wrong notion
Mm,
that, I mean, going through there, we follow them, right? We
mm,
follow the public figures and we follow each and every post of theirs, and every share of theirs, and then we decide by ourselves that yes, we know this person inside out. But that is not the case.
yes.
Okay, that is something they have put what and how much they want people to know. Sometimes it is contradictory to what they really are
Yeah.
as a person. The image is different, the person is different most of the times.
Yes.
There are very few souls like Sri Devi ji or Sushant Singh Rajput who are genuine. Okay, who project what they are,
Yeah.
even in the media. Okay.
Yeah.
So yes. So shall I move on to the next
Yes.
slide?
Please. Please, Deepti. Continue.
Okay. So this is quite adamant, as there have been instances in my own personal life on the same. And I cannot blame anyone for not being able to open their mouth. The main reason this cabal is so strong is because they have no evidences against them, and they trade on the fear of people. This fear, which the common man calls izzat, self esteem, is their biggest weapon. I too was of the same category, but now when I realize that what is happening in the society because people like me are silent, I feel अगर ज़मीर ही मर जाती है इज्जत के चक्कर में, ऐसी इज्जत का ऐसी इज्जत किस काम की? He says, I feel अगर ज़मीर ही मर जाती है इज्जत के चक्कर में, ऐसी इज्जत किस काम की? And within brackets he writes in English, if your inner self pricks you and makes you uneasy with what you are going through, and doing what good is such self-esteem. So this entire network works with a definite agenda, and the agenda is marketing agencies and the private security setups. This is clear to the naked eye that people who were once actors now have their own private security firms. And what more do I have to write here when it is clear to the naked eye how the talent recruitment and celebrity management agencies work? Back then, auditions used to happen based on acting talent. But today, is it the same? Being an artist myself, it's not right I should be speaking on these lines. But if I look at the current trend that is running in the industry, if this continues in a few years down the line, the industry which spoke volumes on talent would end up being nothing but a brothel. And the innocent fans who come to watch movies end up fashionizing themselves to match to the trend of these Mich Masala movies, and family values definitely will go for a huge toss. The industry is my bread and butter, but I don't want my food to be cooked which has the smell of an innocent's blood. This has to change, and I will change it. Another angle to this whole story is the involvement of ex royal families and the influences they have on the system, and the way they have made the system a puppet in their hands. While reading this, you might get confused as to why I am making a mention of this. But the fact is that there have been hearsay incidents wherein the connection to this, what I just have mentioned, does have strong backings, and some cases are indeed connected. The investigation I got to do around this is around Salman Bhai. In the hit and run case, it's his rumored relationship with daughter of the current royal family of Rajasthan that had helped him get out and take charge of the situation then. But when the Maharaja found out about this, the black buck shooting was made a case against him and he was harassed. No doubt what happened was wrong, and there is no excuse for this crime. But if this question someone could answer for me, it would actually make one understand. Was Salman Bhai the only person who was involved in that incident that fateful day? And the weapon which Salman Bhai used belongs to whom? As on date, this information is not verified. And when it is done, I shall make separate notes on this. The reason I made a mention to this is because this connection is equally important to understand this cabal and have the right chain of events to be used as reference when you would start your investigations. The only thing that I would like to humbly plead is not to take me wrong or think I am biased, because all that I am doing is for my own good. My conscience speaks. So Meenaji here, he has made mention about the Black Buck shooting incident in Rajasthan, where Salman Khan was implicated, and he has mentioned, deeper conspiracy
Yes.
behind this incident. Okay, there is a connection with the hit and run incident here. So here he says that because of his closeness to a royal family of Rajasthan, I mean, he could use the influence and get away in the hit and run case. But because of his affair with the daughter of the
Right.
daughter
Royal
of the
family.
royal family, they got angry, and this black buck incident was solely, I mean, he was the only one implicated on the because it was totally made up to harass him. Okay, though others were also involved in the incident, because we have heard names like Saif Ali Khan and some others were also there, right? I don't
Yes.
remember now.
Yeah.
But only he was harassed, and Sushant mentions here that why it was so. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Question
also he
asked
has
by Shilpa is that was it written after Disha's death? According to what I have heard in Times Now and Republic, is that his diaries were written in 2018 and 2019. Deepti can just clarify that.
I'm not sure when his diaries
Yeah,
were written,
yeah.
but since he has made a mention here that after his diaries were destroyed and burnt, he has written these drives.
Yeah.
And also in one of the drives that I shared yesterday, he has written about Disha, how her death was brushed off. So
Yeah.
obviously he has
Do you
written
think
it
that you
after.
have? Do you think you have that with you now?
I think I read it yesterday. Just a
Not
second,
about
please.
Disha. Yeah.
Disha, yeah. Yeah. Do you want me to read the slide again?
Yeah, please, please.
Entire slide, right? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Where there is a will, there is a way. What is the virtue of human life to give into negativity or stay positive and fight to make the world a better place to live and make the place a better social place where the values of truth shall stand strong and keep the war going. Okay, I will start from where, because I have already read this. And
Exactly. Yeah. Just that
yeah,
portion.
so
Yes.
just that Disha portion, I will read it here. Okay. But yes, okay. This drive is the first one. I am starting to make notes and keep all my research and findings, and shall mention about this in every angle I take up. The summary of comments, which I shall be covering for now, would be as follows. Number one, Jiah Khan's murder. It's not hanging, but it's a cold-blooded murder. Number two, Paras Dogra road accident. Though not such a high-profile figure, but was one prime witness who could put much light on the same case which is brushed aside like that of Disha. I repeat this point number two. Paras Dogra road accident, though not such a high profile figure, but was one prime witness who could put much light on the same case, which is brushed aside like that of Disha.
Yeah.
This case, which is called a lonely murder, Pervin Babi. So that means he has written this after Disha's death. And after his diaries were destroyed.
Yeah.
Okay, so just a second, please. Um, and also, he has made a mention in the slide that I read. He had made a mention of how the talent recruitment and celebrity management agencies are working now.
Mm.
It is auditions are no more on the basis of talent,
Yeah.
but it's more or less ended up as a place for as a brothel. He's saying. So what he means to say here is that in return for favors,
Mm.
okay,
Mm.
and if women are okay to be escorts, high profile
Mm.
escorts, and
Mm.
sleep around, then they are promoted, and not the real talented ones, because this is how this talent recruitment and celebrity management agencies are working. That's what he has mentioned in these drives.
Yeah. See, this is something also, Deepti, that we found that in Kwan, there were many incidents like this happening there. So I'm sure he's also, hinting at these.
Yes, and Meenaji, in one of your sessions, I think I had mentioned how the 19 or 21 of the acquitted
Yeah.
of those acquitted in Gulshan Kumar's murder case.
Yeah.
Okay, they are most of them are working with Kwan and Cornerstone.
Yes. Yes.
And after they were acquitted in Gulshan Kumar's case, I mean, they have been involved in they have been involved in some other petty crimes as well,
Yes. Yes.
but they are always free.
Mm.
And now most of them are working for Kwan and Cornerstone. Okay,
Yes.
so
Yes.
you can, yeah. So, shall we move on to the next slide,
Yes.
or do
Please.
you?
Yeah. Please continue. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, there is no point in trying to look for options to search for help, as it is quite adamant that there is no one in this industry or anyone from the police forces too who are just hand in glove with these people. And the complete chapter rotates around the same thing as to who needs how much and what is each one's share, though I don't have much evidences against the same, and I am very sure that the limited evidences that I am able to accumulate will not be enough for the greater perspective to be met. Yet I would say I am fighting this out as my own battle from my own without believing anyone anymore, and
Mm.
making sure that I have proper backup of each aspect that I cover, so that the person who is going to follow this up for me, if in case anything goes wrong,
Mm.
needs to have a complete picture of what exactly is happening. The coming of IPL and such sports events that are coming up these days have become the hub of drug mafia. And the after parties that happen during these events have a lot of dark and hidden secrets of the connection between Bollywood and the underworld. And this entire crime is being handled from some crooks
Mm.
who are inside the country,
Mm.
who never show their faces or never come out in public. This this has to be written in detail, because every single word mentioned here, I would request you who is reading this to take one word at a time, understand what I am trying to speak, and then move ahead. The prisons of our country too are hotspots of crimes that happen when the person who is sitting inside for the naked eye is actually involved in a lot of these activities and works as a telephone operator for the messages to be passed. One way the Nexus can be understood or busted is by trying to keep a close watch on the people who go in to meet these noted criminals, called entry in legal language. Try and check for the activities they involve themselves in, the time they move out, socially, the people they meet before the entry, and the people they meet after they come back from their visit.
Yeah.
This is huge subject altogether and shall require you to understand the slides to follow, which is an explanation of how exactly this works in order to understand the entire operation schedule, and then to analyze and plan your POA. POA means plan of action,
Yeah.
so that you don't fall a trap or come into the eyes of these people. The way to go about, according to me, is do your work in silence, gather enough material, do your own research too if needed. Then, when you come out, come with facts and come out with a bang. There is a huge element of risk to life, but when the but yes, when the mission itself is so noble, who cares what will happen to me? If this work of mine sees the light of the day, with or without me, then I would consider that the birth I took as a human being was very, very fruitful. And if something happens to me before I finish this work, I would look up to the reader to finish this and assure you, which might give you the impression that I am talking big and might be boring you. But the fact is that when you reach to the end of these drives, you will find out that I have done 65% of the job, but would humbly request you to count it off as 50% and relive all these incidents as a crash course and then proceed. Because if you have this info stored into your mind and then work on these files, your job will be a lot more easy. Okay. This slide I will skip because this is for the someone who has. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So
See here, Deepti, what he says is something that many people have put together because IPL is the hub of drug activity in the after parties. This is something that has been said by everybody. And then also the fact that the Cornerstone is managing the careers of all these cricketers. And it's here that these cricketers have been dating film stars, and changing girlfriends or boyfriends as and when it suited them. For example, I think a lot of the people Deepika Padukone first went with this guy. What was his name? The person who came in the movie. I forget his.
yeah, I mean Vijender
Uh,
Singh. No,
no,
no.
no. Um,
She went with Malia's son, right? Siddharth.
that was, yeah. No, I'm talking about the cricketers. It is Dhoni. First, it was Dhoni. Then it was Yuvraj. And then she moved on to the actors. So, Cornerstone is also a place where these people meet actresses. So there's a lot of truth to what. If this is truth, then there's a lot of evidence coming out in SSR's this portion that Deepti read.
Yes, please continue, Minaji. I am trying to find
Yeah.
that slide.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I'm trying to find that slide which has some names mentioned in them. Okay.
Yeah.
So
here,
kindly,
yeah. Yes.
kindly continue moderating. I will get back.
Yes. So another point here, viewers, is that see how closely these companies are associated. You're talking about one, you're talking about Cornerstone, and you're talking about all the PR companies. And for example, like Braindrop, which is managing the Maharashtra government PR, and a lot of the Bollywood, people's PR. And so then you have also the media, which is also very closely linked. So you have these blind articles being written by actors about actors and actresses they don't like to malign their character. So it's a complete circle here, we're talking about. And whatever has been revealed by Deepti in this earlier, chapter is surely about, this part where how cricketers, certain cricketers are favored. Certain cricketers get all the ads. Certain cricketers are paired with actresses. These actresses themselves would have been paired with many others before they finally like someone and they get married. I'm sure you would have noted all this, And then, Cornerstone was also the place where Sushant Singh's, business matters were being handled by Shruti, and which was handed over to Disha. And Disha would have realized there's something hanky-panky here. And perhaps that's how she would have confided the very same thing to Sushant. Yeah, so back to Deepti.
Okay. I will just read two other slides here. Okay,
Yes.
we are
Yeah.
close to finishing as well. So
Yes.
today we'll end this session after I cover 2 more slides.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but I promise that this is going to be explosive of
Yeah.
all the
Also,
slides that I've
yeah.
shared.
Also, yeah. Deepti, just one second. I'm also telling you, viewers, that Deepti has been kind enough to come again on our channel several times. To expose all these. So please be patient with her because she's also trying to tread a very delicate line where she is not, cornered by people, and she's so we have to also help her in this. So please remember, viewers, she'll come in sessions in our channel, but we need to also not pressurize her. Okay? Thank you, friends.
Thank you, Manager. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, the city that never sleeps, the city that is into drugs, the city into so many different kinds of illegal and anti activities. And to add to this, there are so many people within the system who are aiding this. The biggest aspect now is the control the jails have in, and that happens from inside. Some people whom I met and spoke gave me so much information that shook my entire belief system. But then the lessons life taught me these days, the last few days, what I was going through helped me get over it. Most of the jails in the country is not a jail. It's now much like a holiday resort, a place where everything under the sun is readily available, right from drugs, prostitution, and also Hawala transactions happen. Now the most important aspect now, the most important aspect here is of the Hawala and the connections it has to the underworld and how to understand the importance of the words that are used during this transaction. Three major aspects of Hawala, three major bags, three major points sums up the entire Hawala network. The analysis goes as follows. The aspects: Khoka, Rokda, cassette. This khoka means 1 crore. Rokda means money that is to be given in advance. And the cassette means that there is a definite track that has to be followed for the transaction. The most important Hawala transaction is the cassette transaction, which means this money is for political agendas. The Khoka transactions happen for shell companies, and Rokra transactions are those wherein the amounts are small, but the impacts are huge. Most of the terror attacks in the country happen on these cassette transactions. And the episodes of escape, which helped the likes of Nirav Modi and Vijay Mallya flee, happen with the Khoka transactions. Three major bags. Green bag. Don't get confused that this is the color of the bag. It's hara jhola, which in English means green bag. Hara jhola is a green signal where both the receiver and the sender knows the exact purpose of why the money is being used and what are the steps the current point needs to follow. Distributors, delivery persons are called as points here. The money, when it leaves itself, the duty of the sender is to ensure that he gives the count of the calling pattern, which is one long missed call, means on time, ek lambi ghanti. Two long missed calls means some issue, do ghantiyan. If this is followed by a blank SMS, means that the matter is huge and needs immediate addressal. If there is one blank message, means that the person who was supposed to meet is not at the spot, which the receiver has to confirm by giving out missed call in short rings, panch tali. If the situation really goes out of control, the way out for these people is kachra. What these people generally do is, kachra is a term used wherein the next nearest highly influential person is contacted and is asked for help. Kachra transaction commission is 2.5% of the total amount. The detailed explanation of this I was able to gather on the sets of the movie PK. When Kiran Rao was involved in these transactions, And people from the Hawala fraternity were regular visitors to the sets. Even Anushka too used to be confused of what exactly is happening around them. But what came out as another shock to me is that Anushka Sharma is the queen of casting couch stories. Now that she is happily married to Virat, whoever is reading this, I humbly request you to just use this material only for study and do not make a mention of it anywhere in any form. Actions, if needed, uh, to be taken, or you need this for your work, I don't have any objection. But this matter is of the highest shame. And the only reason me penning this down is because this has a very important connection to how the casting couch works, and also how the talent management firms that are a part of Bollywood play a major role in helping these white collar criminals wash their hands and have total control over the politics, and also how the casting couch and certain other pointers have played a major role in the biggest curse on the nation, along with corruption named as honey trapping. The only reason I need to make a mention around this honey trapping is because this honey trapping is the way these Bollywood people wash their hands clean from most of the times, made to maintain the dignity of my tongue. And yet to pass my message, piggy bank became fixed depo- piggy bank became fixed deposit for Nirav Modi. Hint: work on the pet names. And younger Bhatt became Laila to Tijori Wala minister for Parveen Bhabi. I had one question in my mind: do these people have conscience? But I got a beautiful answer in the mouth of Chintu Jr. when he said he lost his V at the age of 14. This is mentioned here in quotes is because only a very, very logical and smart brain can actually understand the meaning of this. And if this is in the hands of a devil, here is my second checkpoint where the actions that follow from here will pass you of another test. If the intentions of the person who is reading this is true, then by the time you reach this point, I exactly know how much time you should have taken. And if you are an extreme genius, you might have reached here 3 days prior to my estimation. The way this slide is handled is a test, and I won't tell you what I am expecting. This is a test, hence, I have written this in this coded language. I'm sorry if a genuine person is reading this and getting annoyed, but please understand, this is for the society, and this is something which is going to do justice to a lot of crimes that have happened, and will also get the common man to understand that whatever is the situation in the country today, truth is unique, and truth shall definitely win. If an angel is reading this, the person would understand my frame of mind. And if a devil is reading this, I leave it up to God. Whoever, whatever, I repeat, my team is watching with me or without me. Yes, so
Yeah, yeah.
we will
Very
stop it
shocking.
at here.
Yeah, very shocking. Very shocking, Deepti, because so many things are mentioned here. You know, people who try to cover themselves up. If this is all true, people who are walking around, like angels, deceiving. All
And there
this.
is a lot more, Minaji, as and how I am going through the drives. I mean, there's a lot of detailed information, and it's not that he has just written it as a story.
Yeah,
He has collected proofs as well.
exactly, exactly.
Okay. And these
So
proofs
could
are
you
something.
could you read one more excerpt before you go?
One more.
Yeah.
Kindly moderate, kindly give me 2 minutes. I had closed it. So,
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely, absolutely.
2 minutes.
Yeah. So, friends, there's a lot of information uh, given in this chapter. If these are all true, then if these what he has mentioned, SSR has mentioned, That means, a lot of truth is coming out, and the people involved in this are really going to get scared because these are things they have kept very well hidden, and only put their diplomatic self in front. So it's very shocking for us as viewers, to hear all this. We'll try our best to see. Deepti is very obliging, so we'll try our best to get as much as many excerpts from Deepti as she can provide us. So please continue to watch, viewers. Now she'll close with after saying one more excerpt, she'll close after that, and then we'll fix another day where we can watch the third part. Casting couch. See, you're asking what do you mean, queen on casting couch? It's just that, see, if you know the meaning of casting couch, people who are operating it or organizing it. It's very what is it's actually rather emotional when you hear Deepti speak, because it this is all that Sushant has undergone. It's a miracle, that at least he was able to save all this. Otherwise, if people will never know the truth, will they? Yeah, back to you, Deepti.
Yes, Manoj.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
okay.
An
I
immense
think
thanks, Deepti, for the kind of efforts you're putting in, and all the viewers are very grateful to you.
No, I believe. I mean, see, this it's the power of Sushant's. I mean, I don't know if if people believe in it or not, but there is something called spiritual power. There is something called, he was such a positive person. Okay, he was such a positive person, and he was. I mean, everything good. I mean, of course, he had all the good qualities in him. He was physically fit. He was mentally a genius, and in fact, his death is a big loss to humanity,
Humanity.
I would say.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, please continue.
Not only to the film industry but to humanity, I would say.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So yes, this slide is a continuation from some other slide. I didn't get the time, so I'm just continuing. Okay. Was literally warned and was given something like a lovable threat for dire consequences if I don't give in. What surprised me the most was what is the involvement of Saif Ali Khan and why was his daughter so restless when I responded to the call I received during the shooting, and what positive or negative it has to do in the context of this entire case. Sara Ali Khan is an innocent girl, but what I am not able to conclude is why is she doing this? The people who have been the black ghost of Indian cinema, are they behind this innocent as well? And what I am getting by standing for these people? Nepotism is a curse on the cinema. And Sara, despite being the daughter of Saif Ali Khan, is she acting or is willfully the most cunning player amongst the lot? My biggest confusion is what is the reason behind her so called portrayal of depression? These people are very, very careful about their image and what is shown about them in the public media and say, we all are one huge family. But what happened to this family when the death of such a beautiful soul who lived, worked, and spent time with each of these possibly great actors was put to rest? And there is not a single word being spoken about it. Is money above everything, even emotions and pain for that matter? Why is the mother who is pleading for justice not being entertained and is being harassed? Is this how weak the truth is? Who will stand up for this? One side, this angle, and the second side, the angle of Mukesh Bhatt, Mahesh Bhatt, and the Bhatt family. Even more surprising is the attitude of actresses like Sonam Kapoor, Deepika Padukone, Tapsi Pannu, to name a few, and the casual relationship they share with the media. Manish Malhotra being favored over a lot of talents who genuinely are far better than this man. But why is he being favored over the others? The series of events running in my mind gives me a strong impression that each of the so-called mysterious deaths are so closely connected, and the people are least bothered or concerned about what kind of image they are sharing to the rest of the world, young children, their fan following, etc., etc., etc. Siddharth turning rogue, and so many other connected incidents. Is it the rule of the world now that if someone stands for something which is right, that is wrong? And moreover, if something wrong is happening, we need to shut our eyes, ears, and mouth? Are we doing justice to our self conscience? At least that we are in this huge shit and there is no mention about anything anywhere and no one prefers to talk about it or talk around it. When I try to discuss the matter, the questions I get is she a part of your family? Is she a girlfriend? Is she someone without whom you don't get sleepless nights? How cheap is the mentality of the people? And when the thing that happens is out of control and a logical question is asked, these people boycott and spread theories of depression and force you to go into yourself and develop the idea that you are wrong, no matter what is going to happen. I am not someone who is going to step back or look back from here. What is going to happen if it is written in my fate? So be it. But truth is the truth, no matter what, how, when, and where it comes out. I am going to continue supporting Sara Khan because my assumptions should not be the reason why an innocent falls prey to what these people and why these people are doing it. It's a great matter of shame that she is just a newcomer and these so-called actors. Yeah, let me stop it at here. I'll stop it here, Minaji.
Yes, absolutely. So again, a lot more things have come out in the open, and he's left it open in the case of Sara Ali also. So, which you can either believe this side or the other side.
No, when he was obviously when he had written this, he too was confused about Sara Ali Khan.
But here, Deepti, he talks about Siddharth. Is he talking about Siddharth Pitani? Yeah, because he says he played rogue. So maybe he knew his character also. Perhaps. Yeah.
I mean, we can only find out as
keep it open for interpretation. Yeah.
It will be too quick to make, to jump to the conclusion that it is Siddharth Pitani, though it seems to be Siddharth Pitani for now.
Yes.
But let us not conclude because as we go forward, we might be able to, judge better. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much, Deepti, for this wonderful session.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, and hope you'll join us for the next session as well, so that we can keep the series live and so that people know the truth and the immense kind of work that you are doing.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you for this platform. Yes, and actually, you are doing a greater job. Taking this truth to so many people.
Yeah, not at all. See, it's all Deepti. Everyone who is for justice for Sushant have all joined hands. Each one who's commenting on what you're saying everyone is motivating us to come out with the truth. And so we all form, one hand in this mission, and I'm sure it will come out and we will get justice for Sushant.
Sure, definitely we'll get it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.